The Whiskey Brothers podcast is intended for an adult listening audience. If you find yourself easily offended, I guarantee this will do it.
They don't want no problem. Nah.
From Houston, Texas, the Whiskey Brothers podcast starts now.
Welcome, everybody, to the Whiskey Brothers podcast. Hi. I don't know which episode this is. I'm going to get right into it by telling you I do not know.
Something.
It's in the 700s. This is going to air in August, I believe. It's going to air while I'm in Europe, and Sam will be with me. But we're putting some of these together. So we have a guest though, and this is important. Sam Demaris is here. Rob Mungle is here. Trey Tutson is here.
Hello.
And Paul Oddo is back. Did we record any when we were in Africa together?
We didn't.
We did not.
We talked about it, but I think we had a little too much.
What part of Africa?
Niger,
Yeah.
Djibouti, Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Is that northern?
It's
Northeast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
northeast. Well, yeah, and then Niger is sort of
That's
in the middle.
all pretty much Europe
Central.
then.
Yeah,
Northern Africa is Europe. That's not the real shit.
I think Niger was in the middle of the Sahara.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah, it's further west.
Yeah, that's not exactly Paris. There was nothing European about this.
And then we flew 2 hours out into the desert after we were in Miami, and then that was just like a flipped over plane from World War I, and then sand and garbage bags as far as you could see.
And that one black dude who just sat there at the damn airport
with his feet kicked up. Yeah, That's
just straight chilling.
They were just like, "Welcome to the human trafficking capital of the world."
Yeah, that was like a scene. That was such a scene.
So we're so we did. I couldn't remember, but you have been on the podcast before, and that's you're not an unfamiliar voice. So cheers, welcome home.
Cheers
to Houston
Thanks
for a moment, and enjoy our whiskey.
I hope
and our
you're not
company.
coming into this show to bring out all your feminism talk.
Ha!
That's the last thing
We I am interested in. The chemistry of the show always gets me, depending on who we have at what given time.
Yeah.
Different relationships form.
Sure.
Dale and you would fall into some characters. Back in the day, old you and Johnny would do some stuff. Sam and I have always kind of had a thing.
Sip of that.
But since Trey's joined, and most of our guests are actually intelligent people, we've had some conflicts.
What the fuck
Yeah,
is
I
that
bet.
about?
No one. What are you listening?
I was making my drink.
Yes.
And,
Well, you. So we were talking earlier prior to broadcast.
Yeah.
You were talking to Sam about cruise ships and how meditation was something.
Well, yeah, he said he's got a lot of time to kill on the boat.
Yeah.
And he's exercising a lot, which is great, and all that. And I'm going through a weird thing myself where I'm sort of reducing all of the complications in my life. I've gone through a breakup in the past 7 or 8 months, and every time I go through a breakup, I get into this weird state of just like eliminating everything that's bullshit and burn off all the dead wood, and I try to just like fill it with positive things. So I do a
Holy shit, that's optimistic for a Whiskey Brothers podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still drinking like a fish. But
Okay, we're good.
But I fucking do a psychotic amount of push-ups every day, and then I started.
Is that where the chest comes from? Is that all push-ups?
Also
or
being fat when I was younger.
you are very confusing.
You've only scratched the
I
surface.
know, but you're only like I said, you're either a cop or Canadian. Like, I can't figure out what the fuck you really are.
That would be a Mountie.
It has begun.
A Mountie, all right.
Yeah, Trey used to talk for a minute.
Wait, I thought you were getting married. Is this
We
the
were
breakup?
engaged for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And then it was a weird like friendly-ish breakup, which
Yeah.
I've never done before. And
I don't believe in those.
I will never do it again.
I don't believe in those.
Never doing that again.
Even if you feel good about it, break shit.
I'm going ugly the whole time after this.
I feel like breakups are always supposed to be. It's when I see people end things and they're still friends.
No, that's
where they
not.
show up at the same function.
I don't get it, and it's
Really?
it's degraded over time. You were an
That's how
optimistic
you get a
person
really
in
cute baby
certain
girl.
ways.
I've been divorced from a sea hag, and fucking I can.
Well, time.
Rob, you divorced her in the 1800s.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
talking about.
Time
She was
heals.
16. That's true. Yeah, I mean, it was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
baby.
dude. My last girl that I split up with.
Rob gets over his relationships the way vampires have to. Like, it's just, well, I dated her 324 years ago.
That's right.
I barely remember her eye color.
No, I don't mean
We'll
to interrupt.
eventually run into each other at the
Yeah.
same graveyard. So.
I don't
Yeah.
mean to interrupt, but this is a point that I think is worth noting at this point.
What's that?
Because that's one of the problems with relationships, especially young people. They put this magical sort of, I'm going to be with this person forever. They have these sort of romantic ideals of romance that aren't true and are completely unattainable.
Sure.
And I suggest, and I submit that this is the kind of thinking about romance that comes from Dracula.
All right, didn't see that one coming.
No,
Even though you brought the vampire thing up,
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming.
It's Dracula spent his whole fucking eternity chasing this one bitch through time.
roadside can't mean vampires.
We've trained people in the last 200 years to get their romantic inclinations from a vampire story. And then it came into the fucking Twilight series. The same fucking thing happened. This old guy who was...
Is it possible you're attributing too much weight to people's...
No, it's this magical thinking of this is like the fucking Twilight series is the guy who's 250 years old and he waited around for a 16-year-old girl that he was like, oh, this is magic.
I feel and Disney did not contribute more to these unrealistic expectations than fucking Stephanie Meyer.
I think it comes from Dracula.
But the thing is, you say it's trained everybody to that. No, it's trained women to that idea of romance. Most guys walk into it expecting porn.
Right.
Like, bitch, I will fix your fridge for life.
Okay, so
just let me lay this pipe.
I think what we're running into with your theory is one of those situations where you're not wrong completely. But that doesn't make you right.
maybe.
You have a point.
How we refer to Trey all the time.
That's not wrong. Yeah, but nobody wants a bitch.
To answer your question,
So hang on, 'cause we're going to come back to you being right once.
To answer your question, so I get rid of all my shit. So I'm reducing down to minimum possessions and then just eliminating unnecessary things from my life.
Did you move?
No, I kept my place because it's hard to find a new place in New York and it's my name on the lease. And so I started doing that, fucking working out hard, and then added meditation, and then using the app Headspace that's like just a mindfulness meditation.
I use it myself.
And then I started going to a shrink, which I had used to go to before. He specializes in comics. Oh. And it's a wild thing. He was the inspiration. He was the inspiration for Dr. Katz on Comedy Central years and years ago. Yeah, he's like all these big name comics guys. Richard Lewis was the first guy
if you could work with him.
He was the first guy to
that
establish him as a comics therapist.
Jesus.
And then he just started sending comics to him, and then he's like, there's an endless wealth of fucked up people.
Yeah.
You talking about Alan?
Yeah.
That's you talking about?
Yep. Yeah, that's Al. His name's Alan Lefkowitz is his last name.
Yeah.
But he's a fucking great, sharp guy. But the meditation, just to get to that point, is it's very useful. Surprisingly
You
useful.
and I agree on this front.
He does not.
Why are you giggling?
Because you did all this, number one, behind a bitch. And then
I don't understand.
you got an extra bill because this bitch left. That's
Well, $12 a month.
You're supposed to strip it down.
Yeah.
She stripped you down to everything. Your
I'm not
soul.
paying for her meals, so that.
But you replaced that shit to go talk to a weird Jew. You go talk to a weird Jew.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'd rather have a bitch back.
What's even worse,
Bitch, you can't have that French onion soup.
to build on top of what you said, he's told me to stop fucking girls.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What? Yeah, because I'm fucking too many chicks. What? And my first reaction to that was jealous. But no, he's like, obviously that's a thing you're joking about. But he's like, you have a fear of being alone, so you have to fucking be alone so that you get used to that, so that when you get into another relationship, you leave when it's appropriate.
Okay, but wait. What if I don't
also
wanna
this is
get into
weird because
another
what is?
relationship?
Hang on.
What if you didn't want to get into another relationship?
Well, I'm
What
not
if,
really that
hey,
way.
Man, I'm trying to cleanse myself through my penis.
I'm doing a little of that, and believe me, I bargained with him. I was like, what if I just do anal? How about that? That's not trying to build a life. I'm not trying to keep somebody around with that. That's like a thing, like if you come over here, you're going to get butt fucked. Trying to keep people away. It's like what you put on your wall next to the Beware of Dogs sign.
We don't call the cops.
Yeah. And the dick don't either. But I do want to know why you don't believe in meditation.
Wait, I'm just
Beware of Paul, and the dick ain't too friendly either.
I gotta sit over here. I don't know if your views on the meditation. I think I know yours. But why is it the two black guys and the white guy over here, while the two bearded, good-looking swath layers over
I told you I can't have sex, Rob.
Hey, maybe
talking
there's
about
maybe
fucking meditation? And
maybe there's something to meditation.
I don't know.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
If I ever paid a dude for if I ever paid a motherfucker for advice, and his advice was to quit fucking, I want my money back.
Oh,
All 12 of the
believe me,
dollars.
I was angry about it.
You should
I
not
want-
go to a therapist. I think that's
I
what they
want
want to
my
tell us.
fucking money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
You know, Sam, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you, and I'm wondering, maybe you have too much pussy.
Yeah, you know what? If you think that, you haven't fucking been listening to me. You have not.
I'm
Put your
just saying.
fucking phone down.
What don't you agree with, Trey,
What are you talking about?
regarding meditation? Specifically, what is it about meditation that you don't understand yet, so we can explain to
It
you?
ain't
Because
no understanding. I know this shit. I tried this shit. It's goofy. You sitting there with your own thoughts, right? You gotta sit there. You gotta try to weigh that shit out. Then they go, "Hey, bro, if that's too difficult, add some music." So then you add this motherfucking caveman Indian music. So it sounds like the original cha-cha shit before the lyric. It's like all over the place.
Before the
and you just
lyrics.
gotta lay there, listen until you just start. It's just ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
fucking. It's stupid.
Here's what it is. I do a lot of hallucinogenic drugs. A lot.
So
I do
Okay.
mushrooms probably every week, and that's
Really?
like yeah.
Okay.
I do them all the time, and then I recently did 5-MeO DMT. It's the
Yes.
fucking venom of a Mexican frog that you freebase out of a crack pipe, and you basically feel like you died and come back to
Yeah.
life. It's a weird fucking thing.
is that a fast burn, like a quick?
It's
one of
between,
those, like,
between
15
5 and
minutes?
30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like a fucking weird shamanistic ceremony that had to be in Brooklyn by whatever fucking underground law there is. But
In a warehouse.
Yeah, a yoga studio.
Bro,
but
I'm going
but the
to-
point of saying all that shit, and I didn't mean to step on you, Sam, is that the mushrooms I do because I have a problem living in the past or fantasizing about the future. I can't be present. I have a real hard time being present. So
shit,
the
this is
thing,
hilarious.
well, that's what it is. It's actually not very funny. but
fucking
but the
hilarious.
thing is I use mushrooms to force myself to feel the things that I'm trying to get out of meditation.
I see.
And
I
so
see.
now I'm trying to basically do that
Psychonaut, baby. Don't shake your
Indiana
head.
Jones switch thing where I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to just be dependent on drugs. I would like to be
Okay.
able to get some of this naturally.
So you gonna do what these old Buddhist niggas used to do back in the gap. You know what you're really doing, right?
What's
You're
that?
supposed to you use meditation to prepare yourself for death.
Sure.
That's what it is. It's to ease yourself, for when you die, where you're able to separate holding on to living.
It can be.
You know what that's like.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
you also got to understand how long that process can be for some people.
Okay.
Maybe that's a 40-year process.
You also have to know, why do I give a fuck? I don't plan on dying soon. I'll deal with death when it get here. And once it's here, I can't do shit. I can't be like, oh, nigga, let me get ready. No, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
See,
That's
you know
being
what?
present, motherfucker, not caring about death.
The panic in your
Not
voice is
preparing
kind of
yourself.
why I do it.
We gotta take a quick break. We're coming right back. Oh my God, I love these conversations. More Whiskey Brothers in just a moment.
Are you new to the Whiskey Brothers? Then check out the legendary first 400 episodes. Access the archives at praisewhiskey.com.
Andy doesn't believe in boats. We are back on the Whiskey Brothers podcast. I know I like to drop that bomb when I can. Trey Tutson, Sam Demaris, Rob Mungo. We're joined by Paul Oddo. You're at Paul Oddo?
I am on Twitter,
On
and
Twitter and
Instagram
Instagram.
and all that stuff, which was down today.
Yeah, I
Annoyingly
heard.
so. I had
Which
to go
one?
onto Twitter and see if
Which
people
one?
were just describing butts. It was, it's ridiculous.
You know
What
you
do I
can
do?
get
All of it, yeah.
you can get Trey's new self-help book. It's called Tupac Chopra. And, teaches you how to be.
Trey, I feel like if you got into hallucinogens, you would actually start to know some of the shit you're
I
talking about.
want to do shrooms.
I have a whole bunch of them.
Tonight?
I can get them.
Hold on.
But
You,
here-
you were too drunk at the Whiskey Brothers show. Otherwise, you would
I
have
would've
been
did
in. Yeah.
We're trying.
Yeah, and when I say-
We're
when I
trying
say
to
I do
open
them-
his good eye.
You should.
Hilarious.
Got it.
Yeah, my eyes is lazy
Sorry.
as fuck.
I do at least 2 hits of LSD once a quarter.
Where do you get acid all the time? Oh, you're in L.A.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The rainbow.
Right. Well,
Dude,
it's so
he will
common.
text you his menu,
That's great.
and he has everything.
Dude, I don't
great.
know. I don't know that he needs mushrooms. That's.
Rob, I
No, I
disagree.
think mushrooms would be great for him. I think if you put him on LSD for 8 hours,
figured out boats.
It's
I
funny.
think if you put him on LSD for 8 hours, you'd break him. But I think mushrooms would be perfect for him.
Yeah.
I got this friend of mine who I know in New York. She's a pretty blonde girl who started fucking a lot of black dudes lately, and she's like the fucking.
Go on.
And she'll just tell me, she's like, black people don't take mushrooms or acid. I was like, well, that's a funny thing for you to have figured out through taking dick. It's like, but it's just like it's hysterical to me. It's like you're not like a representative. Just be like you know like
the
5 dudes you're fucking.
And most of them don't.
I'm
And
sure she's got
you know what? That was the greatest cover because I sold it for 3 years. And when people would get popped, they'd be like, "Where'd you get it?" I got it from Sam Demaris. Like, that nigga didn't sell you LSD.
Yeah,
No one.
you can't take a sample set of 5.
Right. No, but it's a
Paul,
funny fucking
Paul,
thing.
I have had 5 black dicks, and I can tell you they don't do acid.
Yeah. She's super adamant about it. She's like, they don't do it. It's like
That's those girls who think they can
guys
say
don't
the
do it.
N word because they got fucked in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And it's just, no,
Yeah,
you can't.
That's the same. That's like the chick who comes back from England with an accent. Like it's
Right.
just that you weren't there long enough.
I live with her.
You didn't spend enough time.
That's how you know it's pretend. That's how y'all know it's pretend. Access is fake.
But it's that's also listen, there's
Callback.
there's a series of words that just trigger him to go, that ain't real. And
I
it's
want to know this list.
accents, boats. They'll come up organically.
Accents aren't
The
real.
moon.
No,
I like
the
that.
moon also.
Yeah.
The moon is not real.
It's an illusion. It's like a light show
It's a
that they put on.
I want to buy this book of yours.
It's a whole department.
it's a coloring book.
great.
It's not. There's no words.
I like crayons.
Coloring.
Hey,
That's the next edition.
What you mean by colored book? That's what that guy who emailed us when I said your book was. That's colored book.
like it's finished or like it's.
I kind of agree.
The colored
with
purple?
The accents, though.
Wait, hang on. Don't validate this more. First of all, he was one of the things he was kind of right about is that horses.
No fucking kinda. Horses are Northern America.
Not right.
Okay,
That
he,
was
and the
not
vagina
right.
is completely self-cleaning, and there's a lot of. So
Horses' vaginas are self-cleaning?
apparently,
self-cleaning.
and native to America.
They've been self-cleaning for years.
But those are two separate things. All
Okay.
vaginas
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
those horses. So, but accents, Paul, was one of those. Go ahead.
I believe in accents, but I also think that you can be more in charge of it than people think that they can be.
I agree with that.
I think
Like motherfuckers in Liverpool.
Right.
They don't have to be that fucking cockney to them. That's not.
You want to be a part of this team.
Yes.
So it's like how
I
you
agree with
identify.
that, but the British accent's the British accent.
For sure,
But yeah,
but
when
here's
you
a
get to
funny
Liverpool,
fucking
you fuck off.
They're real because you learn to pronounce the words
Right.
from people who
I
spoke
don't
that
know.
way.
Those Kentucky
No.
people are that fucked up.
That's-
That's how shitty their mouth.
No, dude, because the Texas accent, you do Texas, then you go to Arkansas. You like, okay, Arkansas, y'all are going above and beyond the Call of Duty,
Right.
And like he said, that's what you grow
It's a
up
pig
around.
Call of Duty.
And you want to be, you want to be accepted by the people around you,
Right.
So you kind of do that. I agree with that.
Code
but-
switching.
No,
Isn't that what
y'all.
they call it?
Yeah, they say that, but everybody sounds the same when they pay their bills. You don't know what the fuck a Jamaican sounds white when they pay their bill. Everybody sounds the same
Except for
when they
white
pay
people.
their bills.
Except for white people. Yeah, the lights are late. Here, nigga, shit.
Yeah.
That white people do whatever the fuck they want. I used to love when I was in high school and we would get pulled over by the cops and one of my white friends would just start going the fuck off and I'd be like, hey, I'm not white too.
Yeah.
Like you gotta stop.
You gotta
because
relax.
I'm in the passenger seat. You just cussed him the fuck out. He's gonna pull me out of this car.
You know
I
my
haven't said
approach.
a word.
My approach is straight up. Was there some sort of ruckus?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here for the hullabaloo.
Oh, dude, I get into that shit with.
Until I'm the one who gets pulled out of the car, and then it's time to be funny.
Yeah. I grew up, and I think that my dad must have had a lot of black friends when he was growing up, because like he told me from fucking.
Did he
the
get
jump,
rid of them?
He's like, yeah. Well, he has no no friends, so I don't know. But anyway, he was like, from the fucking moment I even knew what cops were. He's like, a cop will fucking murder you. A cop will kill you and put a gun down next to your body that he took from somebody else and didn't write him a ticket for, and just say he had a gun. 100%. And so it's always been very confusing to me when I talk to people about that idea. It's like, why do you think the cops are your friends?
I've never.
It's real strange to me.
I had a series. I can't remember the third, but I had a series of P words that scared the shit out of me, and it was pregnancy and police were two of them.
Right. You just say, I'm sorry.
Filipinos.
I apologize.
No, that's
you get out of there.
That's
Talk to a judge.
I've never had I've had one good interaction, one time.
That's not to say they're all shit.
At all.
Like,
But
No, they all shit.
But no.
the good ones know the shitty ones. But if you ain't snitching, my nigga, you right in there with them.
But 90%.
I know a lot of bad comics too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what, man? Let me tell you something. You know what my most pleasant interactions with the police have been? With the least place you would think. With the motherfucking LAPD.
Yeah.
The LAPD. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, hey, man, say what you want. The riots in 92 worked.
Right.
They did. Dude, all that rational police shootings. LAPD ain't shooting nobody.
Right.
They didn't shoot a fucking person.
Yeah.
And on the streets of LA right now, like, if a dude and this chick walk out of the bar and he fucking gets all drunk and hauls off and he smacks her, I can run up and I can beat the shit out this motherfucker. And when LAPD shows up, if anybody witnesses it goes, yeah, that dude hit his chick, they're going to put me in the back of the car, they're going to put him in the back of another car, and when they take him off to jail, they're going to pull me out of the car and go home. LAPD, it's called community policing, and that's what they're fucking doing now. And the riots fucking worked, bro.
Also, everybody
They
having
worked.
a camera helps a lot.
The cameras.
I don't know.
Is citizens arrest? Was that ever really a thing?
I think it depends on the
That's
severity
right.
of the thing.
That's what everybody's trying to do to black kids in swimming pools, and it's not working.
That's a load of bullshit. That's something assholes use.
I'm just asking.
You
because-
wait, hang on, citizens arrest.
Is that a thing that's ever been a thing?
I think Arizona has vigilante squads that are allowed.
That patrol the borders, though,
I
right?
think so. Well, just in general.
That seems
But Arizona's weird. Like, they don't do daylight savings. I think they don't.
I know.
They're weird because
That's
they're
a weird
not
thing to
supposed
pair
to
with.
live there. Okay, it's supposed to be fucking uninhabitable.
Right.
I don't mean to sidetrack or
Go ahead.
go back. You brought up blacks in swimming pools. I don't believe the movie Pride. Like I don't believe
I haven't seen
that it. Okay, so you
I was about a swimming team that was
and
black
it's
people,
all
right?
black. I don't believe these niggas was good. Like I don't believe that. You either, right?
I was on swim team and I was damn fucking good.
You was good.
Yes.
I you
damn
was good.
And I thought it was great because we used to show up at meets and you could hear the other kids snickering going, they brought a fucking black guy. And I get it, and I like these motherfuckers.
Here's my point.
I'm guessing you had a different haircut.
I don't
at
think
the time.
5 niggas.
doing it with this drag anchor.
He loses hard.
They'd be like,
Kick my ass with a 30-pound bag of water tied to his head.
Crazy.
You was good. I don't think 5 niggas from Philly was good. Is what I'm saying. 5 Philly niggas can swim.
And let me tell you why they were. Let me tell you,
that
why
was.
they were.
I love that
And
sound.
Trey, and Trey,
It's a great musical genre.
That was a Bone Thug song.
They're a death metal rap band.
No, he used to throw the Boys to Men joke.
I know, but then it was a 5-figure
here's why
death
they
metal.
were
Shut
good.
up, Sam.
Here's why they were good, Trey, and you can't back me up on this. Here's why they were good, because somebody looked at those 5 black dudes and says, y'all niggas can't swim. And
then they
they
had to
said,
prove a point.
challenge accepted, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how Tiger got good at golf. It was,
That
black people
bobsled
can't play
team?
golf.
Yes.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Those guys, but they didn't learn in a public pool,
Bro,
They didn't, unless the freestyle event had rings at the bottom and 47 fucking other
they
families.
Hollywooded that up.
And then
This is how I know.
Of course.
There's no good black male swimmers now. Niggas is good on foot. Like, we're not real good. You throw a body of water in there, that fuck up our whole escape.
Please tweet that verbatim.
But I'm serious though.
You ever seen any? You know what?
That's why no niggas made it to Michigan. Like one of them lakes with a fall. Fuck, what we do now? Shit, just run fast. Let's see if we can get it if we run fast.
You know what?
Wait
Ever
till
seen
December.
You ever seen any black triathletes? No.
I don't pay
One part
attention to
gets
it.
you.
I'm
That
telling
one
you.
part will get you.
The women are good. There's female black swimmers.
Black swimmers, yes.
Great. Dudes, no sir.
What about are there black male tennis players?
I'm gonna tell you why there's no black
Arthur
male.
Ashe.
I'll tell you why.
He died of AIDS.
There's no black male swimmers because there's no pussy in it.
You think?
There's no pussy.
Oh, Michael Phelps was.
Yeah, he's swimming in pussy.
So was
No
that?
pun
What was that?
intended.
What was that? Yeah, that bro that the frat brother.
Lochte?
Yeah, whoever
Yeah.
that douche.
Yeah, well, okay, how about this? There's not enough money and pussy in it.
I honestly don't know enough about sports in general to like comment.
Oh, he one of them niggas. He rocked the Astros hat just because it's Houston.
That's why I wear a Colt 45s hat.
Ah.
That's why, because I don't pay attention to sports, and I used to wear an Astros hat, and then people would always not care because Houston was no good for a long time, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, the Astros are doing great." I was like, "Fuck!" Now I got to talk about baseball, and so I got a Colt 45.
Then you should wear a Negro Leagues hat.
Yeah, that would go
They
over
didn't give
real
a
well.
fuck both ways. They didn't.
What team was that?
You know my favorite. You know my
Colt 45 COLT 45. It's a different situation.
No, Rob has one.
My favorite Negro League team was the Atlanta Black Crackers.
Black Crackers.
That's a fun
That's
name.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like that.
What's the?
They were the
I'm trying to be invisible, though.
And they made more
There
money
you go.
than black swimmers. They
But
made
yeah.
more money than black swimmers.
But now the problem with this hat is that I invite a deeper level of sports fan.
Yeah, exactly.
So people walk up and they're like, "Oh, the Colt 45s, they were this to that." I was like, "Fucking, I don't know shit about it." But like people
Just
are
grunt
always.
and say I took it off a homeless guy.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, I'm from Houston, and the only hats that just say Houston on it are at a gas station, and I don't want to just wear that. But yeah, the fucking sports shit. I always want to participate. Like even with people watching all the female soccer now, everybody's like, "Are you watching the soccer, the World Cup?" I was like, "No, I didn't know what was going on." And they were like, "Oh no, the female ladies World Cup." I was like, "Dude, I don't watch regular World Cup."
No one likes regular soccer.
I thought he was gonna say I don't watch regular women, but that's not what he
I watch regular women too much.
Here's how boring your sport is. They were playing the Brits. This girl kicked the goal, and she mimicked like she was sipping a cup of tea. And everybody, there's so much controversy because it was unnecessary. If sipping a tea is taunting in your sport sucks a dick. Because when a black dude scores a touchdown on you, you suck a dick.
Oh, right. Ski.
Balls in your face.
The only thing the Brits got
Yeah,
right.
tea bag, not
Yes,
English tea.
The only thing the Brits got right was mint chocolates after dinner. That's the only thing they got right. You ever had it? I could eat a fucking
narrowed
a
it
whole
down to
bucket
that.
of them hoes.
Yeah.
I love your collection of statements.
They all
It's like I would never have picked that.
That's the
For
only thing
you.
they got right.
I'm like, you know what he's way into? Mint chocolates after dinner.
Bro, that shit
Don't
is
serve it on a boat.
clutch.
Don't talk about thinking too much.
And you got to do it today so the moon's not out.
Great. It's really fun. It's like a very deep interest.
Oh, good stuff, Paul.
That's like one of
It's
those
that
what an
pot of gumbo
asshole
that
said.
you put the ladle to the bottom when you pick it up. He's like, I wonder what's in it this time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He called you gumbo. You're gonna stick around and do our Friday episode with us?
I am gone on Friday, unfortunately.
No. I mean, it's we're recording it now.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you're doing the Friday episode.
apparently so.
Perfect. I like to hear that.
Don't look at my calendar.
You are online at Paul Oddo.
Yeah.
That's important.
And then I have my just pauloddo.com.
2 T's or 2 D's?
ODDO, 2 Ds.
there
And
you
then I have my podcast also, which is just Scientology. That's where I talk
Clever,
to myself
clever.
for 30, 45 minutes about whatever the fuck I'm thinking.
Good. No, I'm
weird.
glad you. But I'm glad you relaunched because you had a podcast before,
Yeah,
and then you
called the Paulcast.
and then you just put it.
Yeah.
You're like, I have another pun.
It's the same thing. I'm just like, I just talk to myself, and I'm always amazed if anybody listens. But hey, people seem to like it.
Give it a listen, Paul. You're always a friend and family member of the Whiskey Brothers. We'll talk to you on Friday for that episode, and go follow him. Tell him we said hello, and we'll see you guys on a future episode very soon. What's the drunk dial, Trey?
323-510-7468.
I'm
Oh, what's
so
that?
impressed. We have a drunk dial. People can call in and leave drunken messages and
Fun.
text. Yeah, so they do that. We play them back.
That's fun.
When I remember.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah, 323-510-7468. We'll see you guys soon.
They don't want no problems. Nah.
Music provided by Scarface. Thank you for listening to yet another excellent episode of the Whiskey Brothers Podcast, the world's funniest podcast ever. The Whiskey Brothers Podcast was made in America by Americans, mostly in and around the Houston area. All content copyright the Whiskey Brothers. This concludes our broadcast day. Goodbye.